Paulie, outside of today, bigger picture, accomplished what you set out to do at the beginning of the season. Objective number one was to get in the playoffs and win the division. How does it feel now that you've done it?
No, I mean, we talked about relief throughout the course of the year. I think expectations are high, and we have the belief that we could make it to playoffs every time we step foot on the field for a W League season. So 2 for 2 so far, and just ready to go.
It was a weird one today. I mean, playing against 9 players the whole time, no subs for them. I guess, what is that message when you're up 7-0 at halftime and you want to keep putting the foot on the gas?
We were able to switch to a 3-5-2, and it's not that it was going to help us or hurt us in other ways. It was a good 45 minutes to see what we look like personnel-wise in case we need to switch to a 3-5-2 in the playoffs. So from that perspective, it was good. I feel sorry for St. Charles that they weren't able to pull it together, but at the same time, we got to look out for ourselves, and I think the girls did a good job of that.
Many different goal scorers tonight. I guess for you, how cool is it to kind of see people who haven't scored or don't really even get in the box much in the season get their own?
No, it's good, and that is the one thing we talked about at halftime is let's not make decisions on the ball that could create some form of friction or tension going into playoffs. And the way that we celebrated every goal together as a group, regardless of who scored, and having the multiple goal scorers is, it's a good feeling for a short period of time, right? We'll have a day off, and then now we got to start preparing for whoever we play in playoffs.
Next question is that. Obviously, you don't know yet, but it's one of 3 teams. We don't know the third yet. But just your thoughts on heading north to take on one of those teams in the playoffs.
We'll have film to watch. We'll start doing that starting tomorrow and do the best we can. Minnesota's cleaned up. Chicago, it looks like, is going to be the wild card out of there, and Flint is an opponent that we faced last year. So, again, either one we get, there's little motives as to why we should be more up for it. Obviously, we get Minnesota again. I think there's a redemption on all the girls' minds. We get Flint. It's an opponent we're familiar with, we should beat. And, again, Chicago, it is new, but in theory, we would be the higher seed playing against an inferior opponent on paper. We got to take care of business.
Do you think there's any, just anything in the back of the mind about last year, knowing that this team probably could have gone farther than they did, and knowing that this is the first round of playoffs again?
Yeah, the first thing I got to do when I wake up tomorrow is just make sure that everybody that, Chat wasn't here today. We got to make sure that she's back from Tennessee and her coach allows her to play next weekend. Hal wasn't here today. She's at Clemson. We got to make sure that Hal's able to come back up and play. We got to make sure that we've got the best 18 available for ourselves to go up and do what needs to be done.
Do we know why, since St. Charles can only bring 9 players?
No.
Anything else you want to add?
Hey, where we go, you will follow. Let's get up to Flint.